Hey folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and tonight, I'm pretty sure it's tonight, Ethan and Cyndaquil slash Typhlosion, slash Quilava, I guess. No one really talks about the male evolution, unfortunately, a lot. But, Ethan with Cyndaquil, that will evolve all the way to Typhlosion, is coming to the game, and that's pretty cool for Ethan fans. So, again, I decided to do another video, as I usually do, right before every new banner drops, just going over the specific sync pair and seeing, if it's worth summoning on or not. So, again, just like always, before I get into any of the nuances of the sync pair or whatever, if Ethan is your favorite character, if Typhlosion is your favorite Pokemon, Cyndaquil is your favorite, Quilava is your favorite Pokemon, then go for it. You don't have to listen to whatever the heck I'm gonna say, right? But if you are, on the edge, if you, if you think you might want to spend gems on this or might not want to spend gems on it, we'll go over Ethan and we'll come to a conclusion at the end and see if it's worth it or not. So, first of all, before we even get into the specifics of Ethan and stuff, I guess the biggest I would say one of the biggest knocks against summoning on Ethan, and I'll list out some pros and cons of Ethan, but one of the biggest cons on Ethan is that Ethan is not on a Pokefair banner, which means you have slightly lower. It's like 2% lower rates for 5 stars in general. It's still the same rates as Pokefair banners for Ethan specifically. Pokefair report or non-Pokefair. Again, it's not 100% confirmed that Ethan's not a Pokefair, but we have no evidence that it's a Pokefair. Cynthia and Lance, we all had evidence beforehand they were Pokefairs, and we have no evidence for Typhlosion being a Pokefair. So it's very, very, very likely that it's not going to be a Pokefair. But assuming it's not Pokefair, Pokefair banners have a 10% rate for 5 stars. Non-Pokefair rates have I think it's 3%. I think it's 7% or something. So slightly lower rates for 5 stars. The same rates to get the feature units. And also, non-Pokefair banners do not feature, or even in the unfeatured pool, does not have non-Pokefair Pokemon. So generally, Pokefair banners might be slightly better to summon on. Again, it's heavily dependent on what the Pokemon slash sync pair is, right? You could have a Pokefair banner with something really, really bad, and obviously that's not as worth as summoning on a non-Pokefair banner with something really, really good, like a Olivia banner or something, right? So, that's the first, I guess, slight knock against summoning on Typhlosion's banner. So let's actually get into Typhlosion now. So we're gonna look at Typhlosion. We're not gonna look at Cyndaquil's stats because if you get Typhlosion, or if you get Ethan, you're very likely gonna evolve it all the way into Typhlosion because there's no reason why you aren't, unless you just don't have evolution crystals, which by the way they've been giving out like crazy recently. So most people should have enough to evolve Cyndaquil and Typhlosion if they actually get Typhlosion, right? So anyways, let's go over its stats first. So the second, I guess, downside to Typhlosion is its stats. Its stats are not great, unfortunately. It has decent HP. Its defenses are whatever, right? It's a striker. Defenses don't matter. Its speed is actually pretty good, but the biggest knock on Ethan and Typhlosion is its special attack. This stat is bad. This stat is bad. 274 special attack for a special striker. Again, this is fire type special striker, weak versus rock, 5-star. This special attack is just bad. It's just straight up bad. If you check of all the sync pairs and you look at the stats, right? So Blue Mega Pidgeot the highest with 456 special attack. That's just that's almost 200 more than Ethan, right? That's almost double Ethan's special attack. Again, Blue Mega Pidgeot, that's an extreme example. It's literally the highest special attack in the game. But if you go down the list, Mewtwo, Dragonite, Mega Gengar, Mega Houndoom, Pidgeot, Sceptile, Reuniclus, Grovyle, Chandelure, Houndoom, Roserade, Trico, Empoleon, Clawitzer, Prinplup, Gengar, Infernape, Solgaleo, Alolan Raichu, Pikachu is even higher. Mega Lucario, this dude doesn't even have any special attacks. Piplup, Kingdra, Glalie, Crobat. Then you have Typhlosion. yeah, I mean, just to give you a sense of how bad its special attack stat is, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. It might be the lowest of all special strikers in the game. Let's see. Of all, okay, let's. Can we sort this by? Yeah, let's sort this by special strikers, and the lowest special striker in the game. Okay, well, Seal's still under that. Well, so it's like, it's the second worst in the game, in terms of evolution lines, right? It has the second worst special attack in the game of all special strikers. Obviously, that's not good. So, it does kind of make up for it, and we'll go into that in a bit. But first off, the stat, unfortunately, not very good. Obviously, better than a lot of the other supports and, some tech units, right? But as a special attack striker, this is just straight up bad. Anyways, let's go into its move. So it has Flamethrower, 47 damage. Has very small chance of letting target burn 2 gauge. This is just for Unity, right? Not really that relevant. You're not going to be using this to do too much damage. You're here to either get, a quick Unity attack in, or if you guys are doing some kind of Unity spam strategy, then you'll use Flamethrower, right? And it's 100% accuracy, so that's good, right? So it does have X special attack, so it makes this not as bad, obviously. But a lot of other strikers have this as well. So, of course, X special attack, it's good, right? So here's where it kind of makes up for it. Eruption, 3 bar, 100% accuracy, 135 power. Extremely high power for a 3 bar move with 100% accuracy. It does have a caveat, being the lower the HP, the less damage it does. If it takes 1 hit, then it's only 80% of that, right? And that's obviously not too much. Let me do some quick maths on my phone. Let's see how much 80% of that is. So 135 times 0.88, that's 118.8. Well, that's still not bad, actually. 118.8 is still a lot of damage for, again, a 3 cost move, 100% accuracy. That's still pretty good. At 50%, it's 65%, and that's going to be 135 times 0.65. That's 80. Okay, 87 is just not good now. So as long as you're above 50% HP, you're doing a lot of damage with Eruption. But the other thing about Eruption is it's AoE. It's against all opponents. So obviously you have split damage, so you're going to do even less damage on that point. So yikes, right? And then, at 33% HP, this is kind of a joke now, right? You're probably just going to use Flamethrower over that, right? Even like at 50% HP, you're probably going to use Flamethrower over that anyways. I mean, it depends, right? It depends on what you're fighting, what the team's doing, right? A lot of stuff. But yeah, not really good. Although again, it's more of an issue in co-op in comparison to single player. Again, AoE in single player is really good. Not so good in co-op. But also in single player, you're not going to go under 100% HP if you're not facing an opponent that has AoE attacks. If you're not facing an opponent that has AoE attacks, you'll be at 100% HP almost all the time, right? Because in single player, the way aggro works is they're just going to attack your highest bulk sync pair, which is very likely going to be a support because, well, this guy needs support, right? So not going to be a problem in single player. You're going to do a lot of damage with Typhlosion in single player. But in co-op, it depends. If you're lucky, you don't get hit early, you're going to do a decent amount of damage with Eruption. Even though, again, still split damage with AoE, but still, overall damage, you're doing a decent amount. It's just that strategy-wise, it's not really good. So moving on to your next move, Stoke the Fire. Restores a bit of the user's HP, raises user speed and evasiveness. Obviously, Typhlosion being already really quick, another raise in speed is nice. It's only raised and not sharply raised, but it also restores HP as well. So this makes this not as bad. If you do take a hit, you could gain some HP back, and very likely you'll get to max HP with this, right? And that's not going to be too difficult to get back to max HP with Typhlosion. So again, this does help that a bit, so it doesn't make that as bad. And also evasiveness helps with Eruption as well, especially if you're facing some opponents with lower accuracy moves like Blizzard or whatever, right? So that also helps by not getting hit at all. So you could always have Eruption at 100% power, which again is a lot of damage. So anyways, let's get into its passive. Well, sync move 250. Is what it is, just standard sync move, right? Passive skill, Speeding Sun 2, quickly charges the move gauge when the weather is sunny. It's an okay-ish passive. I mean, when you do have the opportunity to use it, it's pretty good. But you won't find that opportunity too much because, again, you need Ponyta to actually use it, right? Which, again, I wouldn't see that scenario happening too much. So, it's good, but just not really useful in general, unfortunately. So, overall, let's go over, Typhlosion again. Low special attack, which is bad, and Eruption has issues. It does make it not as bad with Stoke the Fire, which you can recover HP from. But again, Eruption, in single player, it's incredible. It's an incredible move in single player. In co-op, it's suspect, right? Although, again, in co-op, you could do this as well. I mean, if you lower like your opponent's speed and they don't attack as much as often, you could almost like get Eruption up at 100% like almost all the time. If you lower the opponent's speed and all that stuff. But if not, it's just RNG. You just have to hope your opponent doesn't hit you and hits your teammates instead, which is kind of bad. But you got to do what you got to do to maximize your damage output. So the other knock against Typhlosion, which is actually not on its list, is the list of its moves or whatever, is it doesn't have crit buff, which is one of the most important buffs to a sync pair, right? Crit buff is extremely important. It goes through a lot of damage reduction stuff that regular moves don't go through. So that's also a yikes, unfortunately, and which Typhlosion does not have over here. So that's another knock against Typhlosion. So overall, I guess you guys could kind of see where I'm trending with Typhlosion here. Again, if you like Ethan, if you like Typhlosion, if you like Cyndaquil, Quilava, go for it, right? I'm not stopping you. I 100% support you summoning for Ethan if you want him. If you really want Ethan, but like not as much as like the diehard Ethan / Typhlosion fans, you could, Ethan's gonna be back on every single banner. So assuming it's not a poke fair, right? So like you could just wait around until Ethan comes back on like literally every other banner, where you also have a chance to get him as well, right? So even if you are a really big Ethan fan, but you don't mind if you don't get Ethan early, because very likely you'll get Ethan eventually at some time, but it's just gonna take some time, right? But if you're not too worried about that, you can wait this one out as well. As for the hardcore Ethan fans, again, you go summon for it. And if you're on the edge, again, I would suggest not summoning on Ethan's banner. Dude's not that great, and again, it's a fire type. Oops, accidentally hit the mic. Sorry about that. As for fire types, we have Infernape, which admittedly isn't too great either, right? Fire Blast cannot hit, and we also got Hilda, which Hilda's pretty good, right? Recoil's a slight issue, but not too much. But Hilda also is a physical striker, and Typhlosion is a special striker, so there's that as well. So it's hard to compare those two. It's much easier to compare Typhlosion to Infernape. And Infernape's not that. I would say Typhlosion is probably better than Infernape. Probably, right? But again, it's not too much of an upgrade. And also, if you have Hilda already, for most of the grass type EX challenges, you should be fine. EX J9's J9's coming out soon. It should either drop with Typhlosion or maybe like a week after, because somehow they like doing these week after things now. But might come with Typhlosion. Well, that is weak to fire and also drops fire gear. So Typhlosion could be useful for that. They can make, again, I don't know the details of the EX J9, but they could potentially make J9 just like really resistant to like physical fire damage and like not so much to special fire, which would obviously make Ethan much better in that scenario, which they tend like doing stuff like that, right? Making an EX challenge fit exactly what the new sync pair is strong against. So anyways, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I don't suggest folks summoning on Ethan's banner. Again, if you're a diehard Ethan fan, Typhlosion fan, go for it. If you're on the edge, maybe not, and if you don't care about Ethan, then you don't need me to tell you to not summon on this. So there you go. Ethan Typhlosion, again, he's not bad. I kind of make, the video kind of makes it sound like Ethan's bad or whatever. He's not bad. He's still really good, right? Explosion, lots of damage, right? Even though with the lower special attack, the base power for Explosion is just incredible. But again, it does have its downsides, which is why I wouldn't really suggest pulling for Ethan. Again, dude comes back in every other banner after this, so you don't have to worry about getting him. It's just a matter of, do you want to get him now, or do you want to get him like 2 months later or something? Depends on your luck. If they get another select whichever 5-star sync pair you want, they could probably drop him. You could probably pick him up on one of those banners as well if you really want Ethan, right? So anyways, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The Ethan, again, should be coming tonight. I will be live streaming summons, so you guys could check out the channel for that. That should be cool. And yeah, if you guys don't want to summon, you guys could see me summon for it. So anyways, again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like if you did, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys are summoning or not on this banner. And you can join our Discord if you want to talk about all this Pokemon Master stuff. You want to talk to me about it. It's in the description box down below, the link to our Discord. And I'll see you guys in the next one.